This tutorial is part 3 of a project called PaintIt, an app that lets the user choose a color, then use their finger to draw on a canvas. In part 1, we added all the buttons we would need and renamed them so it would be easier to code. We also used horizontal and vertical arrangements to lay out our screen the way we wanted it to look in our paper prototype. In part 2, we added some code to draw dots by saying when the canvas is touched, draw a circle that's small in the same place that the user touched the canvas. For part 3, we'll add some more code now so that when the user drags their finger on the canvas, the app will draw a line that follows the finger. Let's start with the gold canvas block that says when the canvas is dragged. You'll notice it's got a ton of these orange boxes that show information. Next, we'll need to add a purple block that says make the canvas draw a line. So far so good, right? Not too hard to understand. Here's where things start to get a little bit trickier. Now we need to get blocks from these orange boxes. First, I'll show you which blocks to use, and then I'll try to explain why those work. It might be a little bit confusing, and that's probably okay. First, we need to put two blocks in x1 and y1. And those blocks are going to be previous x and previous y. Hover your mouse over previous x, then grab the top block that says get prev x. Do the same thing for y. Check carefully. Do you have x1 get prev x and y1 get prev y? If you mix these up, strange things will happen. Now we need orange blocks for x2 and y2. We'll use current x and current y for these. Hover your mouse over current x, then grab the block that says get current x and put it in x2. Do the same thing for y. So now your code should look like this. Previous x, previous y, current x, current y. What does that mean? Well, this is telling the app how to draw a line. What it's saying is that for each tiny finger movement on the screen, the app should draw part of a line segment, from where the finger was when it started moving to where it is now. If exactly why you use these blocks is confusing to you, don't panic. First, try testing this on a device. Drag your finger very slowly and see if that helps you understand how it works. If it doesn't, that's probably okay, as long as you can explain that this part of the code controls drawing a line when the finger is dragged on the canvas. If you haven't tested this yet, it's time to do that now. Put your app on a device and give it a try. Can you draw a line by dragging your finger across the canvas? If not, then check your blocks carefully. If it does work, then here's one more thing you might want to try. You might want to make the line thinner or thicker. This is controlled with something called line width. It's a canvas block. We can do this. Click Canvas, then look for the block that says Set Canvas Line Width. Not canvas width. That's how wide the canvas itself is. But canvas line width. Grab that one and set it on top of the purple block. Why on top? Well, we want to control how wide the line is before we start drawing it. It doesn't make sense to draw the line and then say how wide it should be. Then for controlling the line width, let's make a variable. Click Variables, then initialize global. For name, you could type something like, you could just use line width again, or you could use a word that means the same thing as width, like line fatness. Then grab a math block, the one that has a number on it, and type a smallish number in that box. I'll start with 5. Then what do you think we'll do last? How will we connect the line fatness we've set here with this block? We need a variables block. This one that says get, and then look for line fatness. Now if you want to try making the line different widths, you can adjust the number that is right here. Thinner lines with smaller numbers, thicker lines with bigger numbers. Try different numbers. See what you think. And when you are happy with how wide your lines are, then go on to part 4.